Ya ayyuha, this whole group of words translated as O, Anas, mankind. Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind. U'budu, worship or enslave, you all enslave. This waw is the waw jamak, representing this is a plural verb. You all worship, a command. Rabbakum, your Lord. Kum is you all, possessive pronoun. Allazi, the one who khalaqa, created kum, you all. Walazina, and those mean from qabli, before kum, you all. La'alla, so that, or perhaps kum, you. La'allakum, so that you may tattaqun, become righteous. Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind, Allah called upon the whole of humanity, inclusive of the believers, the disbelievers, the non-believers, and the munafiqun. U'budu, worship, enslave yourself to your Lord, a command to enslave to the Creator. But why must we do it? Rabbakumul lazi khalaqakum walazina min qablikum, who has created you and those before you. Why must we enslave ourselves to the Creator? Firstly is to have a sense of gratitude that He created us. And the next reason is la'allakum tattaqun, so that you may become righteous, or people of taqwa. Taqwa, God consciousness, fear of the ever-watching Creator of mankind. The solution to crime and evil are when people fear the Master and Creator of mankind. The solution to wandering aimlessly in life is taqwa, having guidance from the loving Master. The solution to arrogance of being wealthy is taqwa, that all provisions are gifts from Allah. The solution from being a tyrant for one's own worldly benefits is taqwa, that we humble ourselves, enslaving to the high majestic Master of all creations. And the list goes on and on. Taqwa solves lots of human issues. To gain taqwa is to enslave yourself to the Master of men. Allazi, the one who, ja'ala, made, la, for, kum, you, al-ard, the earth, firasha, a resting place. The earth's surfaces are made suitable for men to live. We can walk with our feet on the ground with ease because the earth's gravity pull is at the precise measurement, unlike walking on the moon. Also, the earth's surface is mostly flat, suitable for traveling, unlike being on a planetary surface filled with irregular, sharp, uneven, treacherous edges everywhere. Wasama'a bina'a, and the sky as a canopy. A canopy is something that protects anything underneath it from external harm from above. The earth is covered with sky as a canopy, which refers to the earth's atmosphere, and scientifically there are 7 layers, one on top of the other. This atmospherical canopy protects us from the harmful radiation of the sun, from solar flares, from the falling meteorites that burns and disintegrate, etc. Wa and anzala, sent down, mean from asama, the sky, ma'an is water, and sent down the rain from the sky. Fa'akhraja bihi, and then brought forth bihi, with it, mean from or of in this context. As-samarat, the fruits, rizqan, provision, la, for, kum, you. So far, even with advanced telescope, we are still unable to find a planet that has clouds that provide fresh water raining down to the surface. Allah has created and provide earth with fresh water, and with it, crops and vegetation can grow. With vegetation, animals got their provision, while man able to eat those that grow from the earth and meat from the animals. Fala, fa, then la, not. Taj'alu, set up, you all set up. Li, to Allah, combine become lillah, to Allah, andadan, rivals, wa, and antum, you all, ta'lamun, you all know. Do not set up rivals unto Allah in worship while you know. With all the provisions and sustenance that He provide man, it is fair that man is to only worship this uniquely one and only Creator. Instead, man has set up rivals with our Master. Those rivals are more important to us than the one that created us. How many are willing to spend time listening and pondering over the messages in the Quran? Some people literally worship stone idols. Some people literally worship a human perceived as God on earth, while others, without realizing, are actually worshipping money, career, fame, singers, music, movies, entertainment, food, seemingly holy religious men, men of influence, etc. People put these rivals as more important and put aside or bypass the command and prohibition from the Creator and His book and His messenger. Wa and in if kuntum, kuntum is actually past tense, but in this context you are. Fi in bin doubt. These two words, min and ma, from what? In this context, about what? Nazalna, we have revealed, is now we, represented we, na, is a pronoun inside the verb. Ala, to, abadi, slave, na is our, possessive pronouns. Abadina, our slave. Fa, then, to, produce, combine become fa, to. Be, with surah, a chapter, with a surah. Mean from, misli, like, similar, he, it, like it or similar with it. Wa and ud'u, call. Wad'u and call. Syuhada'a, witnesses. Kum, you all. Combine become your witnesses. Again, possessive pronoun. Kum is you all. Mean from duni, other than Allah. In if kuntum, you are sadiqin, truthful. And if you are in doubts concerning that which we have sent down, that is the Quran, to our slave, the Mushrikun of Makkah knew that the intricate eloquence, speeches and linguistic beauty of the Quran were not the words of an illiterate man. Furthermore, it was recited in the melodious tajweed, which was never heard before by the Arabs. For the 40 years of his life, the Mushrikun never hear anything like the Quran from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And out of nowhere, these words began coming from him. There were no internet for him to Google, and he was never a student of any Jewish rabbi or Christian priest. Fa'tu bi suratim min mislih wad'u syuhada'akum. Then produce a surah of the like thereof and call your witnesses besides Allah. If they keep saying that these words are the words of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then Allah Himself challenged them to produce a surah like it. They are allowed to call upon all the linguistic experts of their time and to gather the public as witness to listen to what they are yet to present with. Historically, no Mushrikun poets has come to respond this challenge. However, the opposite happened. Some poets became Muslim after listening to the Quran. The rest of the Mushrikun will insert cocks in their ears to prevent themselves from listening to the Quran. Nowadays, we don't need to insert cocks in our ears as our mind is wandering elsewhere when the Quran is being recited. Even if we listen, we are just admiring the melody, like listening to foreign songs that we don't understand the lyrics. In kuntum sadiqin, if you are truthful. Fa, then, in, if, lam, not, fa, illam, but if not, then if not, taf'alu, you do, wa, and, lan, never, taf'alu, you do, fattaku, then fear, annar, the fire, allati, the one who, waqudu, fuel, ha, its fuel, Anas, men, wa and al-hijara, stones. Or it that prepared li for or to al-kafirin, the disbelievers. And never will you do. Allah said that man will never ever be able to create something like the Quran. And if you have acknowledged this reality, you should follow the footsteps of people of taqwa, who is humble enough to admit man's limitation, whose fuel is man and stones. Imagine the fuel to ignite and maintain the flames of hellfire to keep burning are men, having hearts as hard as stones. Another opinion said stones that were once made as idols will be together with the people who worship them, burning in hellfire, prepared for the disbelievers, especially custom tailored, well prepared for the main ingredient, that is the rebellious people who buried the fitrah of truth. Wa and bashiri, give good news, alladhina, those who amanu, believed, wa and amilu, do, as-salihat, righteous deeds, anna, that, la, for whom, them, jannat, gardens, tajri, flow, mean from, tahti, under, ha, it, in this context is them, Al-anhar, the rivers, plural. Kullama, every time. Ruziku, they are provided. Min, from, ha, it. Min, of, or from, in the context of samaratin, fruit. Rizqan, provision. Qalu, they said in past tense, but this is in the heaven. So English translation will be, they will say. Haza, this allazi, the one, ruziqna, we were provided. This na is the pronoun inside the verb. Fi'il madhi majhul.
Min, from, qablu, before. Wa, and, utu, they will be given. Beef, with, he, it. Mutashabihan, in resemblance. Wa, and, la, for, whom, them. Walahum, and for them. Fi, in, ha, it. Azwajun, spouses. Mutahhara, purified. Wa, and whom they. Fi, in, ha, it. Khalidun, abide forever. And give good tidings to those who believe and do righteous deeds. The messenger was instructed to congratulate those who believed in him. Believing in the Prophet ﷺ was a huge sacrifice, as many elders and people of influence in their society do not believe him and accuse him of being a liar. Good tidings given to the muttaqin for their undeniable belief against all odds. That they will have gardens in paradise beneath which river flows. By nature, even if a person lives in a city of concrete jungle, this person will like some greenery to be decorated at home, in the office, in hotels, in hospitals, etc. An added bonus for city dwellers when there are aquariums or man-made ponds with fake waterfalls, etc. These are the things that the muttaqin will get for their patience and belief. Whenever they are provided with a provision of fruit therefrom, they will say, this is what we were provided with before, and it is given to them in likeness. The fruits in paradise seems like those fruits that they have eaten before on earth, but it is actually not the same. It is perpetually better, and they will have therein purified spouses. Purified, the same spouse on earth that gets on your nerve. However, if all of you enter paradise, then your spouse are the best and beyond what you can imagine of him or her. There will be no more quarrels, and they will abide therein eternally. In this world, no matter how good your house or property is, when you grow old, you will not be as excited of it as when you first bought it. Sometimes you may prefer to move to another location that you think will suit you better. In paradise, you will never tire or get bored of what you are given. You will not want to relocate to another place. Inna Allah la yastahyi. Indeed, Allah not ashamed ay yadriba masala, to set forth an example, ma ba'udah, even of a mosquito. Indeed, Allah is not embarrassed to present an example, that of a mosquito. Fama fawqaha, and even something on it or above it. Fawqa can be on or above. The disbelievers are mocking at the examples given in the Quran. They are trying to derail people from believing in the Quran. However, the opposite happened. Here Allah gives details of a mosquito. There is something fawqa, which can be translated as literally on it or above than it. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, as for those who believe, فَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ, they will know that it is the truth from their Lord. The believers wholeheartedly believe that the truth will certainly emerge. As we know, scientists looking at mosquito confirm that there are organisms literally thriving, living on body parts of mosquitoes. Also, the damage that the mosquitoes can bring to the human society via dengue fever, etc., is above and beyond what these seemingly harmless tiny bugs can do to the bigger humans. وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, as for those who disbelieved, فَيَقُولُونَ مَاذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِهَذَا مَثَلًا, they will say, what intend Allah by this example? Out of their ignorance, the disbelievers sarcastically question the seemingly insignificant example of a tiny mosquito. يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا, he let go astray by it many. وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا, and he guides by it many. Since the disbelievers portrayed their arrogance towards Allahwards, hence this ayah misled them into thinking that the Quran only consists of nonsensical information and they will not be looking seriously into it. The same ayah that has misled the disbelievers has in fact increased the faith of the believing community. وَمَا يُضِلُّ بِهِ إِلَّا الْفَاسِقِينَ, and not he lets go astray by it except the defiantly disobedient. The ayah only misled those that are deep in arrogance and self-corruption to the point of hate towards the Quran. This means that there are people who are at first skeptical but eventually will want to do further reading and understanding of the Quran. الذين ينقضون عهد الله من بعد ميثاقه, those who break the covenant of Allah from after its ratification, or who break the covenant of Allah after contracting it. In one context, this may refer to the Jews who believed in the coming of a messenger that was mentioned in their scriptures and has pledged to support this upcoming messenger. However, when it turned out that this messenger was an Arab, they broke the covenant out of the arrogance of racism. In another context, breaking the covenant in general refers to the disbelievers who have taken the oath of Tawheed before they are brought to life in this world, and now they have disconnected themselves from it. وَيَقْطَعُونَ مَا أَمَرَ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَن يُوصَلَ, and they cut what Allah has ordered by it to be joined, and sever that which Allah has ordered to be joined. Disconnecting of what Allah has commanded, there are several contexts in this ayah. Some say that humans living on earth must associate any worldly subjects with the divine understanding. Example, the study of botany, geography, astronomy, languages, etc. must lead to knowing the Creator and getting closer to Him. Meaning, there is no such thing simply as worldly knowledge by itself, separated from God. In the other context is severing ties of kinship out of arrogance because you are rich and the other is poor, because you have a higher social status and the other is of lower caste, because you have a higher education and the other is not, because you are seemingly more religious than the other, that you look down on your relative. وَيُفْسِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ, and cause corruption on earth. When people have done all those that Allah has warned against, hence corruption will manifest and spread socially, economically, environmentally, etc. Ulaika humul khasirun, and those are the losers. Those who are the cause of corruption are the losers. Kaifa takfuruna billah, how can you disbelieve in Allah? وَكُنْتُمْ أَمْوَاتًا فَأَحْيَاكُمْ, while you were dead before and He gave you life. This is a question of amazement or bewilderment of how can the slaves be so ungrateful. Bringing you to life is a very big deal, which we take for granted as if it is trivial to us. We were non-existent before and suddenly now we are walking on earth. ثُمَّ يُمِيتُكُمْ, then He will cause you to die. A reminder that how ungrateful or arrogant you are. He has designed for you to cease breathing His air, and that's the end of you in this world. ثُمَّ يُحْيِيكُمْ ثُمَّ إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ, then He will give you life again, then to Him you will be returned. However, you will be back again alive in another world. There you will face and answer to Him. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُم مَّا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا, it is He who created for you all that which is on the earth. All things that exist on the earth are designed specifically for men. Things that men needed to survive, including things that men can enjoy. Only men can admire the beauty of nature. Animals do not have this ability. ثُمَّ اسْتَوَى إِلَى السَّمَاءِ, then He rose Himself to the sky. In other translation, He turned to the heaven. People will understand this ayah in various ways. Once an Arab Bedouin asked Umar radiallahu anhu, what was the meaning of this? He rose up to the sky. Umar punched him. Umar asked, do you understand now? He replied, yes. Hence, we will not go into that controversy since our intention is just to read with basic understanding the flow of the ayat. فَسَوَّاهُنَّ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ, and He fashioned them 7 heavens. After Earth has completed its phases of creation, now began the forming of the Earth's atmosphere, which is scientifically proven as having 7 layers. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ, and He on everything all-knowing, and He is knowing of all things. Divine knowledge is too great for tiny humans to comprehend. We are being taught to be humble in regards of Allah's knowledge. Sadaqallahul Azim. Allah the Great has spoken the truth. Allahu A'lam.